case study, which is Audi and Major League Soccer. And this year is actually Major League Soccer's 25th season and the 6th season of support from Audi of America as the official automotive partner for the league. As the league continues to expand, Audi has been a core part of the league's growth. The automaker has helped drive substantial progress in the youth soccer space as well. So please join me in welcoming Shawna Burtscher, the head of experiential marketing for Audi, and Sana Shuaib, MLS Vice President, Partnership Marketing. Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This is going to be a great conversation. And first of all, we're going to begin by taking a quick look at a TV spot featuring the Audi Goals Drive Progress. It's a mouthful. Audi Goals Drive Progress program. So let's play the video.
They say we aren't ready. We can't compete. Be a world-class player.
They say, kid,
you're dreaming.
All right, that is such a great spot. And it's also available in Spanish, but we decided to go ahead and play the English version today. They're both very cool. So I'm going to start with a question for Shawna, actually. How did Audi's partnership with MLS first come together, and why did Audi want to partner with the league? Nope, we lost Shawna.
Tanya, right now, Shawna doesn't have audio, so you might try Santa.
Okay. Do you want to answer that question, or actually we can skip to for Major League Soccer? What makes Audi such a strong partner?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tanya, for having us. We're delighted to be here. Well, I think it goes without saying that Audi is a game changer in the industry. You know, their commitment to technology, to innovation, and just being such a progressive brand. But I think what makes them not only a strong partner, but such a special partner, is their desire to make a long-lasting impact to the game. And they've done that by advancing our youth soccer talent. They've done that by really helping to fuel the growth of soccer in North America, which of course, fuels our league. And our fans are young, they're progressive, they're digitally engaged, and Audi has just had a tremendous 360 marketing program that's been able to keep our fans at the core, really have that emotional connection with them that drives that irrational loyalty. So they have just been such a tremendous partner for us by really honing in and focusing on our fans and really fueling the growth through that youth talent that we have.
Do we have Shawna back, or are we still working on her audio?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Fabulous. Awesome.
Sorry, thank you.
No worries. Technology happens. It's the new normal, which is still not very normal. So actually, the question I had for you was, how did the partnership between Audi and MLS first come together, and why did Audi want to partner with the league?
Yeah, we've been a great partner of the league now for 6 years. I think as a lot of our fans of our brand already knew, Audi's had a long-term partnership with a lot of the key clubs in international markets, and therefore has already established ourselves as a lot of authenticity and legitimacy in the sport of soccer. So as we start to build things in the US, we already had a strong foundation that allowed us to start there. So we had great legitimacy, real opportunity to work with a like-minded brand that was also young, not only in years compared to other major league sports, but also in their fan base and the people that we could reach and the great audience that we had. So that kind of partnership really allowed us to find some great common ground, the ability to create some true, genuine partnerships that we went to market with, which are a lot of the things that you've seen in broadcast so far this year, which has been really great.
Yeah, the broadcast stuff has been amazing. You guys have done, especially given the fact that you've been dealing with a pandemic, and creating, I know that's been a challenge for everybody. So what are some of the top activations that Audi has had with MLS over the history of the partnership?
Yeah, we started off when we started our partnership, really looking at some innovative things that align with our brand, just completely progressive, new and innovative So we started with the Audi Performance Index, which was a new statistic to soccer, which any soccer fans know, there's really not a lot of stats in the sport. So it was something that was kind of difficult to get everyone's head wrapped around to begin with, but we really built some momentum and the players loved it and started to really start a lot of banter around that too. We've pivoted in the last 2 years, knowing that just the growth of the game in the US is something that we've been fully dedicated to. And with how much it's grown, we've actually really been able to contribute to our global portfolio quite a bit too. But last year at the All-Star game, we launched the Audi Goals Drive Progress program. We spent more than a year creating this from scratch with the league. And it's an opportunity that contributes funds for every goal scored to every MLS Academy program, which are dedicated to delivering pro athletes into the sport, either directly into MLS or globally. And a lot of those programs are trying to find ways that they can bring in new talent, and there's certainly barriers to entry in terms of transportation. Maybe they're recruiting from places where those kids need housing and need to stay with a host family or in a dormitory. Or if you look at markets like Los Angeles, the DMA is just so large that they need transportation to get to those venues. And certainly when they're there, tutoring is also something that's really critical. So we've built the Audi Performance Center in a lot of those academies. It gives them opportunities to get hands-on education and make sure that they're just a well-rounded individual. So every broadcast now, for every goal that's scored, you'll see a graphic that comes up. Last night's championship match was $5,000 for every goal scored we contributed to the MLS Academies. And then the Golden Boot winner also got an additional $10,000 for his Academy club, which is really exciting.
Lots of great sponsorship opportunity, or lots of good support for the players who need the support as much as possible. Sana, actually this is a question for both you guys, but let's start with Sana. Since you've been sitting over there quietly, I want to hear from you. How has the partnership adapted to COVID-19? That is a huge thing for all sports partnerships right now, with sports being so in flux. So how have you guys managed to make it still a good partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like everyone else, we've been impacted, by COVID, and we had started the season with our 25th celebration, got off to a roaring start, and of course had to suspend, back in March. That being said, we did restart in July, and actually just culminated with our final last night, 35 days of great play, and 51 games, which Audi was a huge part of. They were our presenting partner of the knockout stage. And as Shawna just noted, the presenting partner of the Golden Boot last night. And throughout the tournament, in addition to awarding those incremental funds through goals, really had that presence throughout with the content, whether through digital content, social engagement. But I cannot say enough about what Audi brings to MLS and to soccer globally through the Goals Drive Progress program. North America is very vast, as we all know, and as Shawna noted, there is a barrier for youth, and so the contributions that are made are just tremendous, because that education, that transportation, that housing, those performance centers really allow youth that otherwise would not have been afforded that opportunity to have that start, to get into the pipeline. So through the suspension, the restart, Audi has just played such an integral role to continuing to impact those youth, given the factors that we've had as a result of COVID.
Shawna, how about from your perspective? How has the partnership adapted to COVID-19?
I think the most important thing for us, not only with our league partnership with MLS, but also all of our team partnerships. So we do have true partnerships. We're working really closely with all of those entities before COVID hit, that we feel like we know each other really well, and they understand what Audi's looking to try to get out of these partnerships and where they can add value for us. So it certainly was, it took us a little minute to catch our breath, but we came back with really critical, creative ways that we could go to market. MLS pivoted, and during all of that downtime, came back with some of the things that we already sponsor, which is the Audi playoffs in Major League Soccer every season. So they went back to broadcast with the best playoff matches that ever took place. So we had an opportunity to gain some value there. And then obviously that generates the opportunity to create some exciting content around that, the best goals scored in playoffs, just anything, just really creative opportunities that we can then carry through to social and to other channels. And then as we came back to play, also finding really creative ways. In the bubble in Orlando, we did have display vehicles there. We looked at all kinds of other opportunities that we could take advantage of, but making sure that the health and safety of the players and all of the support staff and crew there was really paramount, but gave us just some opportunity to do as much as we possibly could. Obviously, you saw all of the signage, which has been great. Our broadcast partners at ESPN and Fox have been wonderful at pivoting into making sure that our Goals Drive Progress integrations continued to run no matter what. And then we had a great placement at halftime yesterday, also talking about the Golden Boot Award winner. So I think the fact that we have a really strong foundation with all of our partners helps tremendously for them to just understand what our needs are, the value that we can get out of this, and how we can mutually find those objectives and support one another and really come back and give the fans what they want.
Awesome.
Shawna says they caught their breath. I have to say they didn't miss a beat. They, throughout the time period, whether with the foundation that we have or coming up with new ideas, just again, the North Star was the fans and, what can we do to bring, some entertainment and some levity during this time. So they were spot on.
Sports has taken on a whole new meaning. I mean, what little there is just so precious, because we're so starved for entertainment. And, one thing I always notice when I'm going around the country are the naming rights on the stadium. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Audi Field and what makes it special as a stadium and why was it the right venue for Audi for naming rights? And then how does that feel now with COVID-19? Is having your name on a stadium still important?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think we definitely saw that, right, during this time when, for example, the Bundesliga was the first to come back and provide some entertainment and escapism for us here in the US, which helped with our partnership with Bayern Munich tremendously. So we've seen fans just really connect with that. Audi Field's been a tremendous asset for us. We're only a mile off the mall in DC. It's in our headquarters city here in the US. The venue is fantastic. And I think if any fan base needed and deserved a new stadium, it was those poor DC United fans too, who played in RFK for so long. And they've got the winningest team. So I think when they opened the gates to that venue, they were just so excited to be there. It's a really intimate venue, lots of excitement. The fan noise is so great there. And for us, it really is a lot about the opportunity for growth that's going to continue in that Buzzard Point neighborhood. Really young, up and coming, professional, on the water. There'll be all kinds of other businesses and restaurants and entities that are there, which is great for us that we have the ability to not just open the building and be done with it and put our name on it. We're really growing over the next, 10 years or so in that area to make sure it's really a destination for everyone. And I completely applaud our team there. Again, just a strong foundational partnership with them that during this time they found value in pivoting and offering fitness classes and other opportunities for people to get outside and to safely socially distant in Audi Field during this time. And they've gotten some really well-deserved kudos for how creative they were during this time to just continue to get people into that venue. And especially in an urban area where people are kind of stuck inside and stuck in their apartments, here's an opportunity to take the opportunity to be in such a massive space and leverage that, which otherwise would be sitting dormant. So we're really excited about that partnership. The team is also building their training facilities up closer to our headquarters in Loudoun County. So even more growth that we're looking forward to with DC United and Audi Field.
So besides the fans benefiting from the partnership, I imagine your dealers are also benefiting and what do they do to further support the partnership on a local level?
Sure, we have not only in DC and with Audi Field, we have dealers that have relationships with several MLS teams around the country. they definitely see great opportunity. They're so excited about soccer and it coming back to. In more normal times, non-COVID times, they are hosting a lot of guests and customers that have been with them for so long in those venues. They do have great opportunities to tap into the databases of all of our club teams. So we've seen really special offers for them. They're leveraging players at their dealerships and connecting ways with fans with those players and in those stadiums. So for us in Audi Field also, it's more about the opportunity of what else is happening in the district. They have other tenants that will be coming in and playing concerts. Again, the growth that's there is massive. So they have an opportunity to tap into just the culture that's happening in their city in each of these venues with their MLS partners and in these venues.
Well, I have one final question, but I wanted to remind the audience that if you have any questions, to please either raise your hand and Lisa will take care of you. She'll tell you when to talk, or if you want to type it in the chat box down below, we can also read Shawna and Sana, Shawna and Sana, I'm sorry, your questions. But my final question is just a real easy one. Just looking ahead, do you guys have any new projects on the horizon between the two of you?
I'll jump in, sorry, Sana, and she can join. We've, this year with our Audi Goals Drive Progress program, we just announced and launched when they went back to play in July, a new television spot that gave us a really in-depth kind of behind the scenes look for fans as to what the sacrifice really entails for these super young players who some as young as 12 years old are coming to this academy and is laser focused on becoming a professional athlete. So we had the opportunity to launch that television spot. And as you see there, a little sneak peek that next week, we are also launching the very first of its kind new content series with our partners at the Burtscher Report, a really in-depth behind the scenes look at what it means to be an academy team player. So we partner with Sporting KC, and you see how difficult it is for these players during the COVID times training. They're training over Zoom. Some of them still living with host families and away from their families during this time. So it's a really in-depth 5-part series that'll launch, like I said, next week, and then 1 episode per month after that. Kind of a HBO Hard Knocks style look, but it'll be very emotional and just a really cool opportunity for fans to get even closer to the game that they love and see the talent that MLS is producing here in the US and in North America that's going on to play not only in Major League Soccer, but in international clubs worldwide that are really establishing North America as a soccer community. I'm really excited about it.
Great. Well, thank you guys. Thank both of you ladies for coming on and sharing your great information.